Good morning, everyone. We are July 1st. It's Canada Day up here. Today I'm going to do a little practice session in futures. Here I'm already in a trade. I was waiting for a spike in volume and a break of the psychological, okay, the psych level of 22,800, which was support and resistance. And basically, of course, it did reverse right away. It didn't hit my stop loss yet. We'll see. Indications right now is that it is going back up, but we never know. My blue line here is the open 930. We do have to be careful because we have Powell that's going to be talking. We have manufacturing PMI coming in at 9:45, and manufacturing PMI ISM at 10 o'clock. So we do have to be careful. There's going to be a lot of volatility. Adjust the stop losses accordingly. Right now I'm in pre-market, so I'm holding a type stop loss. But normally around here, this area, you start seeing a bit of volatility. So I'll have to be careful and maintain this, micromanage this trade. So let's do this. For those watching, don't be shy. Write in the chat, say hi, and let's do this. If you have any questions, ask them, and I'll answer them to the best of my knowledge. Ooh, there you go. That's the volatility I was talking about. Big candles coming in. That's fine. Little small loss of 100. I do take screenshots of every trade. We're still in the green for the couple of trades I took in pre-market. But my trade, I should have entered here, but the volume wasn't as high. Normally when you are near this type of level, you want to see a high volume bar. Well, I'm still learning, so we'll go from there. We'll put this trade in the needed to learn a lesson. Okay, so we're gonna wait and see what's going on here. And that's the thing, trading futures compared to binary options, for example, it's a waiting game. You'll have long periods of not doing anything. You have to wait for your trade. Normally at the open 9:30, I could have to wait until 10 o'clock, 10:30 before even seeing a possible setup. Sometimes it never comes. I can be in a trade for 2 minutes, depending on what I'm aiming for. Am I aiming for a 1R, 2R? What is a 1R, 2R? Here's basically your template for a long position. I have my template for the short position. So 10 points. 10 points, it's 40 ticks. This is approximately for 5 micros. This, I'm risking $100 to make $100. This is the ratio of 1R. If I want to make two R's, so basically I'm risking $100 to make $200, then I have to aim up here, 3 R's, 4 R's, and so forth. You get the point. Now, the more volatility that you have, the wider you need to put your stop loss, and the less contracts you can take. Otherwise, if you always take the same amount of contract, but with a bigger stop loss zone, it's going to cost you more. But now it's coming back down. The 22,800 level. So let's see how it's going to handle it. Here for Powell, people are saying that if he talks about interest rates, lowering them, the market might jump up. If he's talking about inflation and so forth, the market might go down. So right now, here where my volume profile is from 4 a.m. till right now. And I use this to see, okay, where was the most. And you can see here where it's coming out. There's a lot of movement here from buyers and sellers. So we have to be careful here. Now, what are my strategies? My strategies, depending on volume, these are the 20 MAs. You have the high 20 MA, the closed 20 MA, and the low 20 MA. So normally when it does cross, I do go long. When it goes down below it, I do go short. Of course, it will always depend on volume, the situation, and so forth. Where's the 200 EMA? I got that on another chart that we don't have on screen right now. So there's that. And I use that strategy normally when there's not too much volatility. So pre-market, slow market at night. Slow market normally is between 6 and 10 Eastern time for me. Normally at the 9:30, I will be using the orb strategy. What is the orb strategy? It's quite simple. I take the first 15-minute candle. Whoops. I take the first 15-minute candle and I mark that zone. So for example, let's say this, let's go to 15-minute to get a candle. So let's say, yeah. Let's say this is my zone, for example. I go back at the 5 minutes, the first 3 candles. I wait for a breakout either below or above the zone. And then I wait for a retest. So it's gonna, let me get my pen. So I'm waiting for a breakout and then come back for a retest. It has to stay within normal limit of this line. And then I'm gonna go for a sell. If it goes up, I'm waiting for a breakout, then a retest, and then a bullish candle here. Of course, you need the bearish candle. Same thing here. Let some leeway where the candle stop and where it starts, and then we go from there. Also, depending on the size of the orb, I can decide, like, for example, here, we have a bullish candle. Why is it bullish? Because there's major rejection from the buyers. Now, depending on this candle here, it will determine if I want to enter to go back up when I'm in the orb zone. So I can take those type of trades, especially if we're in a range. But these ones, I'll have tighter stop losses and aim for smaller gains because you don't want to be too ambitious. Also, sometimes you don't get the retests. Sometimes it's just a breakout. I will go for breakouts, but it depends on the volume on the candle. It depends, are there any strong levels and so forth. And that's the other point I want to cover. If I do have a strong level above or below my orb box, normally I will wait for a break of that level before entering. Why? Because it does happen where it will break out, it will retest, then it's going to continue going down, but it hits the level and then shots right back up. So you have to be careful for those little things. So I'm learning, taking screenshots. Also, what I do is you see some lines here on my chart, and these are not placed arbitrarily. It's not, oh, I felt like putting them there and so forth. I analyze the chart on the 5 minute. I have, of course, the opening price, the highs, the lows, the close, the volume of the current candle, and I asked Grok AI to do the analysis for me. It's a lot quicker than if I did it myself. Then I take that information, I put it on my chart, and I go accordingly. Of course, I don't trade according to what an AI tells me. I go with my plan, my execution, and I go from there. So let's get rid of this box because that's not really the orb. Let's go back to the 1 minute. So here, let's say I would have taken the trade on the breakout, 10 points. I would have missed just by a tad. And I would stay in this trade as long. I would stay in this trade as long as it doesn't pass the upper 20 EMA. As soon as it goes there and it passes it, I close the trade. Same goes if I would go long, I would stay in the trade until it crosses this line. So for example, if I would have taken this trade here going up, I would have stayed in it until this area here. Or of course, I could have closed it here because of this strong volume where we had a lot, well, this strong bearish candle where we had a lot of volume. So you have to play it, according to your plan. Make sure these are rules in your plan and that you respect them. You just don't, wing it and so forth. Because if you wing it, you won't move forward, let's say. So let's wait for the opening. It's right now it's 9:27, so the open is in 3 minutes. So let's be patient. And normally I don't trade on this screen. I have a monitor, 4K monitor, on which I trade, but for streaming purposes, I trade on this 1080p monitor. Probably going to change it depending on how I feel it, but so as you can see, there's a lot of big candles being formed. Oh, yeah. Did you see this spike up? This is what happens right before the opening. So you have to be careful. So what are you guys doing today? Are you guys day off for Canada Day? Are you waiting for the 4th of July on Friday? What's going on with you guys? So here, as you can see, there's a lot of volume, but it's going down, going down. So the chances are the next candle will be coming down, but we never know. The DOM here will indicate, the amount of trades. If I move it up here, let's put it at the last price. As you can see, there's a lot of orders. Oh, you have 1,100 contracts at 22,800. This is my level here. It didn't go through yet. So let's see what's gonna happen. The opening is in less than a minute. It's 16 seconds. So I'm gonna go to the 5-minute chart. Move this line. Prepare my box. And that's the thing, trading futures, you have to prepare in advance. You have to try and anticipate, well, if the candle is going to probably end here, this would be my stop loss. I'll enter X amount of contract according to my stop loss. You don't wait for candle close to make those decisions, because if you do, it'll be too late, especially if there's a lot of volatility in the candle. So we're going to wait for the first 3 candles to form. So we have to wait another 14 minutes before we do anything. Yes, but Mark, what happens if it goes really up or really down, you know, with big momentum? I wait. No FOMO. It's not part of my plan. So, no FOMO, no stress. We wait. My plan is not to take anything before 9:15. I'm gonna enter my last trade. Meantime, in my journal. So you can see here, candles like this, normally we'll find ourselves in a micro range. Buyers and sellers don't know what to do. But there are news of Powell speaking. Powell, for those who don't know, he's the guy that will tell you about inflation, rates. Is he cutting them? What is he doing exactly? So let's see what's going to happen. We have 38 seconds left for the first candle. As you can see, a lot of volume on the opening opening candle. 21,500. A lot of volume on this candle. If you look at these ones here, starting at 4 o'clock, well, these are candles, during the day, the volume during the day, sorry. And this is the volume in slow markets and pre-market. You start getting a jump in volume around 8 o'clock, but when the market opens 9:30, you can see the volume is way different. More volatility. So we have an indecision. In the 1 minute, it looks like this. It's staying above the 2800, which is a good sign. If it does stay above the 22,800, it might go up to 22,900s, or at least in that direction. If after the 15 minutes, the tendency is to go below 28,800, it might continue going down. We'll have to see. Yeah, lately the markets, especially on the opening 15 minutes, you've had a lot of candle with long wicks at the beginning, not really any direction. Yesterday it stayed in a range. If you look yesterday, so basically this is the 9:30 candle. It's 3 o'clock. As you can see, it pretty much stayed in a range. No real direction. Really hard trading this. It started moving at 3 o'clock going up, but it didn't make a big move. Because the orb started here, so let's say you did take this trade here. Would have been like, well, 5R. It's not too bad, but it's very late at day. I don't want to stay on the charts all day long. Oops, I forgot to start recording my stream on my PC because I like to clip some of the moves I managed to get. Anyways, it started. No damage done because no trade has been taken yet. We're just waiting for the orb to form. So, as you can see here, yes, it's a big green column with a lot of volume, but buyers and sellers are fighting each other to know which direction to go. Here, there's less volume, but still buyers and sellers are still fighting it out. And we'll have to wait and see who wins that battle, or if it's a draw like yesterday. But as we can see, we did form a double top, so to speak, in 15 minutes. We've been in an uptrend for a couple of days with a major break on the 27th, and it went back up the same day. But this was a fake out, probably chasing liquidity or whatever's smart money concept. Uptrend, then going down, and going back up, and then coming back down. So are we expecting a downtrend, an uptrend? What are we expecting? We don't know yet. Anyways, I trade on lower time frames. So I know some people are going to say, look at the daily, look at the 4 hours, look at the trend. Well, like here, it's an uptrend for the daily. But if the candle is red for the day, for me, on the 5 minute, it won't be an uptrend. It will be a downtrend. And I have to trade accordingly. So this is my first candle. I'll put it here. So this is the last candle. We still have 4 minutes and 13 seconds to wait, and we'll see what's going to happen. Okay, still 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Buyers and sellers are still fighting over which direction we're going to go. Sorry for that. Still haven't broken the 22,800, but the sellers are making a push for it. Ooh, they're making a big push for it. We have a lot of contracts coming in. Oh my God, thousands. Oh, a lot of volatility. Go here, it's going to be easier. Yeah, I move a lot between time frames, so sorry. I don't want to make you guys sick. So we did break the 22,800 level. So chances are that we will be going further down. That means they probably don't like the news that we got at 9:30, but 9:45, which is when I normally start analyzing, looking at the possibilities, that might change. That might change. It depends on the news coming in. Now, some say, don't trade the news, I trade the news and whatnot. Don't forget institutions, those that really make the market move. They've had to use a couple of microseconds or seconds or whatever before you. So when you see a movement on the chart, it's too late. If you chase that movement, that's just FOMO. Unless, of course, it's part of your setup. But more often than not, it's just FOMO. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So now we wait for a setup to form. As I stated before, let me get my pen. What I stated before, I'm either waiting for a breakout up or a breakout down. Then, depending on the breakout and the volume that we're going to have here, I either enter right after the breakout or I wait for a retest once it touches this line and I have in this case, a bullish candle. I will get in for a long. And same thing here. Yeah, I will wait for the breakout and then retest around here. Then once I get a bearish candle, it can be on the line, it could be the next candle, it depends. I will look to enter for a short. So that's my strategy. If it does stay in a range, I'm going to look for, shorter trades, tighter stop losses, but the volatility has to go down in order for me to do that. Here for the longs and short, I have to adjust the amount of contracts I take. A contract in NASDAQ, I'm trading micros. So for micros, one tick, that's the equivalent of a pip, equals 25 cents. And it moves by a increment of 25 cents. You'll never see a price of 22,833. It's either 25, 50, or 75, or 00. And each tick has a value of 50 cents on micros. On minis, it's $5. So basically for me, let's say for example, I take one micro and I risk 40 ticks, which is my normal stop loss, my tightest stop loss. That's $20. So that's how I go with it. I also done a chart, Microsoft table, where I'll just move my camera because I noticed that when I'm writing on my screen, you can't see my face. Yeah, so I even did a chart depending on the size of my stop loss, how much that would do. How do I know the size of the stop loss? You got it here when you go in the settings, stop loss ticks, amount of ticks. So 74, that's almost double from my 40. 5 is 40, so I'd probably go to 3 or 2 depending on the movement of the market. Okay. Okay, so the news regarding USS&P manufacturing seem to be good as the market is reacting. They did go outside the orb, but they came back in. Let's log this so we don't move it accidentally. This indicator here, by the way, is the volume profile. So here you can see we might hit some resistance once it goes up. At the bottom, there's not much as far as resistance go. We've had a bit here. So as you can see, this one kind of spikes out from what's below and above. And you can notice that here at the same area, if you look at the lines, pretty much there's correlation between both. Okay, so we've exited the orb. So I have to wait for this candle to close. And here I'm going to decide, do I go for a breakout test, or a breakout trade, or do I go for a break and retest before entering the trade? There's not too much volume, but I'd like it to be a bit higher. There's still 3 minutes left before this candle closes. The orb is small today. It's barely 42. If you guys want to know exactly, you could also do it like this. It's 172 ticks. That's almost $400 on my normal position. Now, normally, if it does close above and it stays like this, I'm going to wait for a break and retest, as this is not a bullish candle. The first 5-minute candle to close outside of the orb, if I want to go with a breakout, it has to be a bullish candle, and this is clearly not. It's becoming a bearish candle. It's even re-entered the orb. I have some notifications coming in. I'm just going to mute it. There's still a minute, 20 seconds left. So it's been 45 minutes. And for those that are aware, I do trade binary options. As you can see, trading futures, options, Forex, stocks, whatnot. It's not a get in, get out quick thing like in binary. Sometimes you have to wait a long time. So let's see in the 1 minute what's going on. As you can see, this is weak price action. It is weak price action. Normally, if I do take a break and retest, I want momentum going up, then coming to retest, and I don't want big momentum coming back down. because normally that will signal, or probabilities are that it will continue going down. So right now, chances are I'm going to wait for a break and retest. Okay. Now, what happens if the candle crosses the orb and closes inside? Well, the break and retest is invalidated. It really needs to stay, above the line or just a bit inside the line, but not like this right now. That this is not considered a retest. That's considered a break inside of the orb. Like if let's say we did have impulsion up and then it come back down, this candle here would be a bullish candle on which I would have gone in. But as I said, we had a big candle here, but then it's weak price action. We don't want that. If I have these candles, let's say the orb, the top of the orb is over here, and I had these candles and this coming down, then it touches the orb like this, and then this candle closes there, then that's, for me, would be valid. But just one candle and then weak price action here, it's not valid for me. As you can see, it's being rejected. We're back inside the orb. So we have to wait. Setup didn't present itself. We had weak price action. And as far as my strategy, 20 EMA, as I said, I normally use this in low volatility or low volume sessions. I try not to use it at high volume sessions. Doesn't mean I won't take a trade if the setup is really A++, but I will refrain myself, depending on where it is, especially with all these support resistance that we find during high volatility. Let's go back to 5 minute. So we do have to be really, really patient. Yet when you're not scalping, this is not exciting. But this is trading. It's not supposed to be exciting. You're supposed to be mechanical, execute your process according to your plan, respect your rules, and manage your risk. We'll wait another 30 minutes. And if there's no trade, that's going to be it for the stream. Doesn't mean I won't take a trade outside of the stream, but if there's no trade within the next 30 minutes, we'll just end the stream there and pick it up another time. Oh, big spike going down. Big spike going up. Okay. You see, if I would have taken this trade because it's a bearish candle, it would have gotten it, and look at this candle here. That's why you have to be careful in high volatility situation, especially when there's news. Like here, we have our numbers, and we can see, it's a green candle, so it seems to be great numbers. Or at least it's neutral as the price is coming back up in the range. Okay, there seems to be some news here. I'm just gonna watch it. Okay, so it just seems, like yesterday, it's a battle between buyers and sellers. Nobody's really taking the pole position on this. And you have to expect that. There's going to be days where, well, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. The only thing you have, it's an elevator, right? You're going up, then you're going down. And you're going up, then you're coming back down. That's the only thing you have. And that's okay. Don't force trades. Don't look for something that is not there. Protect your capital. Tomorrow there's going to be other opportunities. So as I said, I'm going to wait until 10:30 approximately. But I don't expect anything big unless, buyers or sellers step in. I don't expect anything really major. and we'll just stop at this. So with the trades that I took slow market and pre-market, 3 wins, 2 losses, and normally I go for 1 hour, 1.5 hour. So that's pretty much the result right now. Um, there's funny stuff going on Twitter, trying to see if there's not any news, anything. Not really. Now, some of you might ask, why are you looking at the 5 minute? Uh, I find there's less noise than the 1 minute, so that's why I like to evaluate the situation. Compared to here, there's a lot of noise. You don't really know, where it's going. In hindsight, of course, it's easy, but when it goes up and then here it comes down, you'd expect, well, it might go lower. Here, there's a breakout. It didn't. So there's a lot of noise rather than in the 5 minute. You're like, okay, lower low, then it's going up. Oh, it stopped here, went back up. So we have a higher high, but then we have a break of structure here. So anyways, I prefer the 5 minutes. And if there's too much noise on the 5 minutes, like we have here, I will go and see the 15 minutes and try and see, well, yes, we're in consolidation. Oh, okay, here it seems to be moving, but there's a lot of rejection. The sellers are like, no way, Jose, you're not going up. We're pushing you back down. So we wait and we see what's going on. What the market is gonna give us. Yeah, I know I said I ended at 10:30, but it's been over an hour. Well, nearly an hour. There's no trade today. That's okay. It is right now 10 past 10. So I will end the stream here. And well, basically, guys, thanks for being there. And I'll see you on the next stream. Have a great day, guys. Happy Canada Day to those uh, that do live in Canada. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Have a great day, guys.